Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Lara, or Lara Likes Mascara. I hope you're doing well, and today, as you can tell by the title, we are restarting my lipstick project pan series. Now, I think this is going to be a smaller version of last year's project, because last year this was like the main project that I was working on other than my like regular project pan series. I did really well. I panned a lot of lip products, but I also sort of let it like take over my makeup life. I ended up pretty much exclusively using blush as lipstick in 2023. And that meant that I didn't end up panning any of my blushes, and I really didn't reach for them at all. And so then this year I'm doing a blush roulette because I want to get back in touch with my blush collection. So I don't want this to like interrupt. Oh, I just realized I'm not wearing earrings. I should put my earrings in. You know, I don't want this to interfere with my using other products in my collection. So I might not finish as many lip products as I have last year in my updates. And I'm probably also, because of that, not going to do as frequent updates because I just have so many projects. I also mentioned this in my most recent makeup no-buy update. I've got a plan to pan series going on. I've got a project pan series. I've got my blush roulette. I'm going to be starting a graveyard project pan, and on top of that, this lipstick project pan. Like, it's just a lot. So I'm probably not going to update this more than once every 4 months because I don't think I'm going to have that many updates, but also otherwise it's overwhelming. I'm sure you like project pan content, but you don't want to see exclusively project pan content. So it'll be a lesser version of last year, but nonetheless, I have a lot of lip products that I really don't feel like I'm tracking super well, and so I want to be. I want to see the progress that I'm making, because in my regular project pan series, I don't have a ton of lip products in there this year. So yeah, I decided to create another lip series, and a lot of these are going to be red because I've got a lot of red lip products and I just don't reach for them organically. I'm trying to do so more, but I'm not great at it. And I do like red. Like, I think it looks good, but you know, it's a challenge. It is. So let's just hop right into it. Now, let's start with today's look. So right now I have this NYX lipstick on, which you can't even tell is NYX. It's totally yeah, this one's probably in the worst shape out of all of the lip products I'm using. And this is the Tower 28 lip gloss. This was decluttered to me by Shauna, I think halfway through 2022. I had it for maybe 2 months and then it disappeared. And I just rediscovered it like within the past month. So at first I was like, okay, well, I'm just going to throw this out because it's probably expired by now. But then I realized, you know, there's only half of this left. And I've never panned a lip gloss before. And I kind of want to see if I'm up to the challenge. Now, at any point, I might decide, okay, you know what? I don't like this very much. I don't like lip glosses as a whole. Why am I trying to do this? But I just kind of want to test myself. I want to see how it goes. I want to see if maybe I will like this better than I had before, if it will change my mind about lip gloss. I'm actually not wearing any yet, but I'm going to put it on now. It does have a little bit of a scent because of, you know, it's probably a little bit expired, but that dissipates very quickly. And I think that this looks nice on top of other red lipsticks. And so I am trying to use these together in tandem. Out of the house. That's the main thing. The camera died and then it was out of memory, and so the last little bit didn't get recorded. But basically, this is how much is left of this NYX lipstick in 511, which I'm very happy about. You can see here the amount of progress that I've made this past time has been equal to pretty much all of the other updates from last year. I didn't focus on this as much in 2023 as I have been in 2024. This is like my go-to if I'm just at home during the day and I want to put something on my lips, or not if I want to, but if I feel like I should put something on my lips, this is the go-to one. And I've been getting better at leaving the house wearing this somehow. This is one of the only lip products that I feel like looks good with my like slicked back look and very minimal eye makeup. I am not a big fan generally of wearing a lip product if I've got minimal makeup on. I just feel like it's very incongruous. It doesn't go. But this one, for whatever reason, even though it's a very bright red, it looks good with no mascara, no eyeliner. So I've been wearing this a lot more. I would love to get this finished by the next time. And I think based on how much I have used over the past couple of months, I should be able to get this done in about 3 months. So if I update this series in July, I'm thinking that's when it's going to be done. I've already decided that I'm not going to go digging in there and, you know, get the product out once I've finished what's on top, because it will just get so messy. Like, it's one thing to do that with a lip balm where it's just clear, and if you get it on like your fingers or something, it's not a big deal. This is such a creamy formula and it is so bright. Like, even closing this book, because of the mark that that lipstick made, red is going to get all over this side of the paper. I already know. So I do not want it getting super messy. So I'm just not going to bother. So once the top part is done, it's done. I'm gonna call it quits on this one. Yeah, but I am glad that I decided to use this last year rather than just throwing it out, because it has gotten me out of my comfort zone for sure. And that's part of the reason why I'm doing this whole like red lipstick project pan series, because now I feel more comfortable wearing red. Speaking of red, the next lip product is this NARS one. This came as a 2-pack, so the counterpart of this one in the pink shade, Rakujian, I did manage to finish up in, I think it was February of this year, but this red one, it's very deep. And honestly, this would probably go better with this shirt than the bright red lipstick I've got, because this is a bit deeper. It's a bit more blue toned, I would say. But when I wear it, it ends up everywhere, which you wouldn't think, because I feel like lip gloss is more sort of messy than a product like this. But yeah, I've had some unfortunate situations where this gets everywhere. So I haven't worn it too much, but I do actually want to try it as a blush. So I'm gonna give that a whirl. I'm gonna try to get this used up. I don't know if by the next update, I'm thinking by the end of the year I would be able to finish this, but yeah, just trying to get more use out of my red lip products, because they have been undervalued for sure. And I've actually got one more red lip product that I'm including in the project. Ooh, and I should measure this as well. Okay, so isn't this interesting? When I started panning the pair of them, Rakujian and Cruella, they were at basically the same place. Can you see that? I tracked both sort of side by side, so you can see how much quicker I ended up using the Rakujian than the Cruella. I think because it was so much more versatile, because it was just sort of a nude, neutral pink, which I find a lot easier to use on the lips and on the cheeks. But let's see how we're doing with Cruella. Okay, a tiny bit of progress. I think it's worth making a mark, but really not very much. And hopefully I can see more progress in the next few months. So I've just made a third tiny update there. So this is the one out of all of these I think will be the hardest to use, just because I have not, I've struggled to use it in the past. All of these other ones I think I have a better track record of using. I've got more progress on, but that one, it's probably the oldest, and so it's probably the one that I need to use up the most. So I really got to make a push for it. The next one, right here, we've got this double-ended lippy, but only one end works. The other end dried up. I think this is the only other product that was in my lipstick project pan from last year. And the reason that it's still not finished is because I consciously decided not to use it up, because I started falling in love with it. Like, I really, really came to enjoy it. And so I didn't want it to be done, but look how little is left. Like, come on, I need to just use it up. I have other red lipsticks. I've even got a product that works as a blush the same color as this. Like, I started using this as a blush and I loved it. I've got the Glossier Spark Cloud Paint, which is virtually the same shade as this. So if I finish this, I can just use that. Like, it's not like I don't have backup type products of this. So I just need to get over myself and use it up. And here we go. Okay, a tiny bit of progress. You can see here. Oh my, and again, we're getting product all over the place. But yeah, if I stick to it, I can have this used up for next time. It's just that I've got so many other products I'm also trying to use, so it's hard to know how quickly this will go. And also because I'm trying not as much to use lip products as cheek products, because I'm really trying to get use out of my blushes. So if I use this as a blush, I need to keep it to infrequently, you know, maybe once a week or once every 2 weeks. but I haven't used this for probably 6 months now because I just decided to stop trying to use it up, and now I'm ready. I'm ready for it to be used up. So it's time to get back to it. I've got a couple more lip products in this lipstick project pan, but those 4 are the 4 red lippies. There's a real focus on red lippies, as I mentioned, because yeah, it's the year of red lipsticks for me. I'm really trying to branch out a little bit, so let's see how it goes. But we've got 2 more lippies, and they're actually the same in different shades. So this is along the lines of what I did last year with the NARS 2 shades. One of them got used up, one of them did not, and I'm curious to see if it'll be the same situation here, if I use them up at the same speed or if one gets finished quicker than the other. These are actually both in my Plan to Pan series. I've tried not to do a ton of overlap because I don't want it to be repetitive. I want it to be interesting, not like, oh, she talked about this last week, I already know, how much progress she made. Yeah, I tried to not have too many in overlapping projects, but a couple months apart updates, that feels fine. And yeah, honestly, I haven't mentioned these, I think, since 2023, so you'll have no idea how these are doing, how much I've used up. So once every 3 or so months feels like it's spaced out enough. So let's see. One of these I haven't reached for since the summer. I think you can tell which one. The bright one, obviously. And the other one I have been trying to use. Unfortunately, I bring this out with me. Like, I always have it in my purse, and I just don't find myself reaching for it. I think I tricked myself into thinking that this was a shade that I liked on my lips, and I just don't. For whatever reason, I find myself just not being into those like darker shades anymore, even if it's very, very sheer. This is like a plum wine color still, and it's just not my vibe. I love the lip butters. Like, I love the formula, I love the packaging, but the shades, I think that they just don't work on me. So unfortunately, I mean, I was using the bright shade in the summer quite a bit, and so this one I thought I'd be able to use up in the winter, but I have reverted back to just wearing this when I'm at home and not out, because I don't know, I just never reach for it. I don't like how it looks. So one way or another, as long as I get it used up, I'm fine with that, but I am a little bit disappointed. So let's see how the progress, oh, it's be real time, damn. Okay, so let's see where we are. Have I even tracked these on here? Okay, it just says lip butter. So I tracked one of the lip butters, Revlon lip butter. Which is which though? This was not very well conceived. Okay, let's do the darker one first. This is in the shade Red Velvet. What would happen if I put some on top right now? Does that make it worse? I don't know. I feel like my lips are already looking bad right now. But let's see. Okay, I don't think it's that one. I might have done the notations twice. This makes no sense. Okay, this must be, yeah, the bright one. Okay, so you can see that in the summer I had quite a bit of progress on that lip butter, but since then, nothing. So I'm not going to make another mark on there. This is in the shade Wild Watermelon, and it is getting to be spring, notwithstanding it has been snowing all day today, on and off sunshine and snow. So the weather is a little bit confused. We're not really sure what to do, but everyone feels like they're in the spring mood. You know what I mean? We had good temperatures for a couple days there. So I think that I can get some use out of this. It won't be too weird if I start busting this out. Yeah, March, April, May seems like a good time to use this. And there's not that much left. Should I dig into it once I finished it and like, get the inside stuff there? I don't really want to. I remember I did that with the last lip butter and it was not fun. I'll cross that bridge when I get there. But yeah, if I just finished like what's on top there, that's not that much. Like, this would only take a couple months max to finish. So yeah, optimistic about this one. This one, not so much, especially considering in the last update I told you I would finish this in the winter because it's such a good wintry shade and I like it so much. And yet here we are mid-March and I'm still not done, and it is approaching the end of the time when it is appropriate to wear this. But nevertheless, let's track it and then we can see next time how much progress we've made from this point. I'm also reflecting back on last year. I'm looking at a picture that I posted last year of my lipstick project pan. These are the products in it. So I had 8 products total. I finished the lip liner. I finished the Bite lipstick, although I think I finished that in early 2024. I finished the baby lips. I finished the lip butter. I finished that Revlon product. I finished the Kiko lipstick, although again, I think that was 2024. So there's only 2 products here that I didn't manage to finish. So I'm pretty happy. Like if I can finish, you know, 3/4 of these products, I would be happy. I would consider that a success for 2024. But let me know what you think. Are you optimistic about me finishing these products, or do you think I will end up decluttering this Tower 28 product sooner rather than later? I wish you luck if you are heading on your own lipstick project pan, but reminder, do not let it take over your entire lipstick life, okay? Make sure you enjoy your full collection as well, because that's what happened to me last year. Though I finished a lot of the products, it came at the cost of not working on other products in my collection and getting out of touch with those. So that is it for today's video, and now let's talk briefly about a book that I have been reading lately. So I will pull it up on Libby because I'm actually listening to it as an audiobook. This is called Ninth House by Leigh Bardugo. I'm more than halfway through, although it's very long. I think it's like 16 hours. And at first I was like, oh, I'm not gonna finish this. I'm not into it. And I feel that way about a lot of books these days. At first I'm like, oh, I'll give it another hour. But now I'm more into it for sure. This, I'd heard mixed reviews about it. I know some people love it, some people hate it. I think it's fine. I think the world building is interesting. I think like it is YA. It's better YA than some I've read. I recently read Fourth Wing and I really hated that writing. This is better than that in terms of writing style. The world building, it's like about magic. It takes place at Yale. There's these secret societies that can do magic and sort of like bring back the dead or like play with that line between life and death. That's interesting. I do like the main character. I think it's a little bit too fantasy for me. What I find really interesting is the author she's the one who wrote Shadow and Bone, and she's Jewish, and I think that the like analogies to elements of Jewish mysticism is really interesting. So she talks about Ladino, which is like pretty obscure. Ladino is a sort of dying Jewish language. It is kind of like Yiddish, except Yiddish is spoken by many more people. Ladino is more of a mix between Spanish and Turkish and Hebrew. So it's a really interesting combination. The way that it sort of like arose in Sephardic Jewish people in Spanish-speaking countries is a really interesting story, and the way that it was kept alive and sort of hidden. And so yeah, that element of it is really interesting, and I'm glad that the author weaves that into her stories, Shadow and Bone and Ninth House. But yeah, I just at this point I'm like, is fantasy even for me? Like why am I trying? I'm like never happy with the books that I read. I know there's better fantasy out there, and maybe I should just read like straight fantasy, not YA fantasy. But yeah, if you like fantasy, you might enjoy it, but take it with a grain of salt. So that is it for today's video. This camera keeps dying, so I will talk to you next week.